Hi, I'm Laura Allmacher. I'm a professional astrologer and acupuncturist and founder of Northwest Astrology. And I also work out of Heart Spring Health as an acupuncturist and holistic medicine practitioner. And I am really excited. I'm joining Kathryn today. And Kathryn and I met at Heart Spring Health. And um, we just discovered pretty quickly with meeting each other that we're both astrologers and we both have this love for astrology and also in medicine. And um, I'm excited to come together because we decided to collaborate. We're both cancers. We're both actually discovered that we're born very like days apart from each other and we have all these things in common. Our birth charts look pretty similar and we're like, we need to get together and create some collaborative work to put out there for everybody. If you're really want to tune in to the astrological aspects of life and how we work with the synchronicity of that and learn more and explore and discover more about yourself, we're here to provide our collaborative work together.
Yeah, it's super exciting, Laura. I'm Kathryn Kloos, and I'm a naturopath. I specialize in women's healthcare. And I also work with the plant medicines. I work with psilocybin and I work with ayahuasca legally in the legal framework. And I also do ketamine work. But what people don't know about me is that I'm a closet astrologer. I started studying astrology when I was 20 just by teaching myself in books. And I do astrology with my patients. And I don't really like put it out there that I'm an astrologer. So this is the first time that I'm putting it out there that I'm an astrologer. And it was so fun when we got together and we were talking about astrology in the coffee shop and like comparing notes about our lives because our birthdays are 5 days apart and we have the same rising sign and all the planets in the same houses for the most part. So that was so much fun. So it feels very fortuitous that because we both have our moons in, no, your moon is in Virgo, my moon is in Cancer, but we're both Cancers. Um,
Mhm.
it feels very fortuitous that we're going to talk to everyone listening today about the full moon in Cancer and in the sign of Capricorn. And so I'm curious,
Cancer.
Laura,
Yeah.
what does the full moon mean to you?
Oh, gosh, that's such a big question. I want to say that the full moon is happening at 2:27 p.m. on today, the 13th, and in Pacific time, just if you want to know exactly when that moon is, because it won't be the exactness of it is like during the daytime, which is always good to know. Like in the middle of the afternoon, you can pause and just feel the actual like exact timing of that full moon. And what the full moon is the sun, which is in Capricorn, when it's full, it's always the moon is always going to be in the opposite zodiac sign. So this will be a full moon in Cancer, and as the sun sets, the moon rises. And so it's this beautiful moment in the sky. When you look one way, the sun is setting on the west, then you look to the east and the moon is rising. And it's just this really perfect moment if you're able to catch that. Um, but as this happens, the moon is just in its full glory and it's lit up. And you think about astrologically what that means, and the significance of that is like the personality is the most at its most illuminated state. And people born under a full moon, their personalities tend to be a little bit more illuminated and seen. And but the moon represents our emotional side of ourselves. Like when we look in astrology, we've got lots of different planets and different signs, but the moon part is the one that actually represents how we show up and express ourselves emotionally. And so it helps us tune into that. It's naturally ruled by Cancer, and Cancer has the same qualities of the moon. And so it makes this one a little bit more powerful and natural to feel and get in tune with the emotional um, coherence with yourself. And the piece about the moon itself too is that, you know, The emotion, the most illuminated aspects that come out under the full moon, when you think about it, it's like that's why a lot of times you'll hear like, oh, it's just getting wild, it's a full moon, because of that illuminated state. And so it's a good time for us, for whatever sign that full moon is in, for us to really get in touch with that aspect of whatever the sign it's going through, because that it's like a synchronicity for us to really feel and connect with. And so, and that's how astrology can really help us, is because there's a synchronicity happening between what's going on in the sky and inside of us and down here below in the microcosm. And so when we start working with that and looking at that, it can help really guide us towards how to actually proceed in ways that are really in alignment with what's happening naturally. Um, so this most illuminated state in Cancer, when we think about the qualities of Cancer, is the nurturing, sensitive, emotional aspects that really can come alive. And so it's a good time, this full moon energy is a really good time to connect with that within yourself and to be real with what your feelings are and what's coming up. The moon can show up as like activating our subconscious, our shadow parts, even those things that we don't want to feel, just to allow ourselves to be honest about what we are feeling, whether it's good feelings or feelings that we don't like to feel. The more we can do that and the more we get honest with that, we can understand how our emotions actually help guide us. They serve as a really great guide to show us what we need to be doing next for ourselves. And so when we can really attune to those feelings and emotions, then we can be more in connection with our heart and what our needs are and come from more of that authentic place. And so it's a really powerful time to feel all of that under the full moon in Cancer. Um, and so aside from being a little more sensitive and feeling more, it's actually a great time. It shows you what's there. It shows you what, if things are coming up for you, it's not creating it. It's actually bringing it up so you can look at it and be connected to it. So then you can know where to go next with yourself or your life or what you're doing, which is really powerful for the time that we're in right now in these times. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you're talking about, just pausing, taking some time to really, Cancer, I think of the crab, going into the shell, and it's a perfect time to kind of create a safe space to go within and to feel what you're feeling, like what you're saying, and to allow yourself to really go into those dark and shadow places and maybe do some journaling and allow yourself to ask what am I really needing right now. And I think that's so important. Cancer rules the collective unconscious, and right now we're just in such a moment of a global collective unconscious being super intense with the change in the presidency and everybody's opinions about that, and fires in LA, and all these, social media and everything that we're exposed to. And so it's a really kind thing that we can do right now on this full moon in Cancer is to maybe cut out some of those media influences, maybe unplug and really feel into what how am I feeling? Wait, how am I doing? What can I do to take care of myself? The sign of Cancer is ruled by the mother, and sometimes, people have checkered feelings about their own personal mother. Some people might have wonderful mothers, some people not so much. But
Mhm.
actually, Cancer is the cosmic mother and the mother earth. So if we can't resource from our own personal mothers, how can we link in to the mother earth or the great mother, the cosmic mother, and really allow ourselves to do those things that are deeply, deeply nourishing for ourselves in order to navigate these complex times that we're in. And so I think about Cancer and deep nourishment. I also think about the Cancer and the protective element of the crab and its shell, and what we can do to nourish, but also to protect our psychic fields. Because, too, Cancer is very psychic, very sensitive, very emotional. And so, um, Saltwater baths. I love working with Epsom salts. If you're a shower person, you can just take the Epsom salt in the shower and just like scrub it all over your body, and that really cleans the aura, and creates like a protective energy, electromagnetic energy field around you or in the bath too. And so that could be a really nice practice, for this full moon of cleansing, protecting, and like you were saying, like taking that time out to journal and to reflect. Wait, what am I really needing in this moment? And okay, if I feel dysregulated, if I feel anxious, if I do feel depressed, what am I needing to resource myself? What extra self-care tips, things can I do to really, really feed myself? And maybe it's earthing, maybe it's going to the earth and getting some negative ions from the forest, or, doing the bath. I'm curious, do you have any thoughts of like practices or things that you could do for self-care during the full moon?
Oh, yeah. I really love everything that you said about like that part about just cleaning your auric field too, and the Epsom salts and creating sort of that protection, and having that as a good self-care. It's great to do all the time just to kind of eliminate like at the end of your day and you take a shower and you just clear out whatever has got in your that is has come to you and has kind of attached itself to you and just use that salt as a way to cleanse. It's really beautiful.
Mhm.
And along with additional self-care, just allowing that aspect of like, cancer is the crab and it has a shell. It's a protective, right? And there's also this piece around like home and nesting that cancer, is also connected to. And so creating that for yourself, creating that space for yourself, creating that nest, creating that protectiveness where you can just be really safe in yourself, and however you want to create that, whether it's spending some time alone or just being with trusted people where you can really tune in together,
Mhm.
and allow for containment and space to hold each other. The moon in Cancer is so much about nurturing and needing to nurture, and how we need to be nurtured, and so like creating space of that if it's possible to have like even uh you know a small little circle with people where you
Mhm.
can all be in sort of this nurturing, um, sort of safe space, and also even with yourself just creating that space where you can get real with yourself, like what's happening in my life right now, and how am I showing up, and what are the things that I'm feeling that I may not want to actually really look at because I'm too afraid to know what that really means. And just getting real with yourself. And like from that place, like you can see what it's trying to guide you towards. What are your next steps? What is it you need to do? Once you really know what you're feeling and you're attuning to those aspects of yourself, you can start to see how you can work with it as a guide and not get too attached to being the feelings that you're having, but just feeling, just understanding the feelings that are there and what they're
Mhm.
trying to point to instead of becoming those feelings, and just helping yourself move to this place of like, okay, what is this trying to teach me or show me or guide me in my life? And it can be really powerful to allow your emotions to be a guide versus something that takes you down. um, and creating space for that so you can just get real. um,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. And like it's almost like I imagine, in the waters, if you rustle up the all of the sediment in the waters, and you just allow it to, you sit with it and allow it to be still, and you feel it and you watch all the sediment go to the bottom, then you can kind of get a clear perspective. And
Mhm.
maybe that's where some new insights or intuition
Mhm.
can come, but you have to kind of be with all of those things and quiet yourself, and seclude yourself to feel all those deep waters inside, and all those little jangly parts and all those little dysregulated parts, and breathe and settle, and then it's like, oh, okay, oh, wow, here's a creative idea. oh, here's an intuition. Oh, here's a path forward that I wasn't seeing. So yeah, I really appreciate that, that reflection that you're giving of just
Mhm,
being with yourself, because it really clarifies too.
mhm. Yeah, and what you said is like speaking, being the observer of your experience, where you can actually
Mhm.
observe these things that are happening inside of you. And it helps create a little or a little space between you and what is there so you can actually work with it. Have a little space to work with it.
And that's really important,
Yeah.
especially with the big emotionality of cancer, because we can get in these big emotions, we can get swept away and then get really identified with the suffering, get really identified with all of the problems. And
Yeah.
so I like what you're
Yeah.
saying of like, oh, okay, here's this big emotion that I'm feeling. I'm feeling really scared about the state of the world. I'm feeling like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh my God, this and this person says this and this person says this, and it's making me feel really tense.
Mm.
What you're saying is like, yes, feel it, and also kind of like breathe and detach from it a little bit and kind of observe and not to get completely swept away in it. So so that you can like care for yourself and then just let it settle, to understand it a little bit better.
Mm. That is just so beautiful. I feel like it's a good time um, to lead us through a meditation
Great. Yeah, let's
to
do it.
think of this.
Yeah. So, let's if you're in a calm place, even if you're driving a car, listening to this, or in your kitchen, or even if you have the opportunity to sit, let's just take a moment and be still together and take a nice deep breath, and let's tune into the moon and that white, beautiful full moon light and its purity shining down, even if we're indoors, even if it's daytime, wherever you are, that full moon is shining. And let's just breathe in that beautiful white light and just allow that white light to pour in through your crown chakra and clean your crown chakra, opening it, and allow it to pour over and wash over your crown and your third eye, clearing away any kind of confusion or tension. And breathing and allowing that clear white light. I imagine like also the sea foam from the ocean, just in that salt, just purifying your throat and your neck and your shoulders, and breathing that light and that purification into your heart and coming down into your belly. Cancer rules the belly. So let's just take a moment to take a few belly breaths and ask, what am I feeling in my belly? Am I feeling any kind of blockage? Am I feeling any tension? Am I feeling any kind of subconscious holding pattern? And let's breathe in that white light of the moon. It's so nurturing. It's always with us, it's always there every single month. Just allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling there and being graciously cradled and nourished by this divine light, celestial light from the moon. And breathing that moonlight into your pelvis, letting it nourish and cleanse your pelvic organs. And anchoring that bright, beautiful light through your legs and letting it extend down through your legs, down through your chakras and your feet to connect in with the Mother Earth. And in this moment, let's connect with the Mother Earth and send her our gratitude, send her the light from the moon, and our intention to ground and to connect in with the earth and be nourished by the earth. And so now take a breath up from the earth, up into the soles of your feet, and breathe it up in your body, up to your heart. And allow yourself to be nourished by the Earth Mother. And how beautiful this connection is between the celestial moon and the warmth of the earth. And let these two energies meet now, of the moon and the earth, right in your heart. And taking a breath here. And letting this energy expand into a protection, 3 feet in front of you, 3 feet behind you, 3 feet above you, 3 feet below you. In this beautiful protective layer of nurturing energy, just that you can draw upon any time in your day, of earth energy and moon energy, and just allowing yourself to feel and be. And from here, I'm going to guide us in a song. And this is a new moon. This song could be sung on the new moon. It can also be sung on the full moon. It's a song that came to me probably, I don't know, in 2020, 2013. I plant my seed in the dark of the moon and watch it bloom in the full moonlight, in the full moonlight. I plant my seed in the dark of the moon and watch it bloom in the full moonlight, in the full moonlight. All the seasons are born anew, the rhythms and the cycles. We celebrate the moon, the ruler of the ocean. All the seasons are born anew, the rhythms and the cycles. We celebrate the moon, the ruler of the ocean. So let's just take a moment and send all of our gratitude and so much good vibrations to all of the creatures in the sea, all of the whales and the dolphins and the sea anemone and the coral reefs, and just sending lots of good life force to the health of the oceans and the health of the sea and the sea air. And much gratitude to be here with you, Laura, today. How fun this was. I'm so glad that we got together to do this. How fun.
Yeah, this is just such a good start to many more. And I want to say the sea within our beings too. All of our coral reefs and sea
Mm.
anemones and
Oh, I love
all of
it.
our all of our parts
I
that
love
make our
it.
sea. Yeah, this has been a really special time sharing, Catherine, with you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm curious if people want to get to know you or your offerings. I know you teach classes. Are you teaching any classes or doing readings? Tell us a little bit about like how we can connect with you.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to connect with me is for astrology is going to Northwest Astrologer, all one word, northwestastrologer.com, and you'll learn about that I do consultations and I teach astrological courses at 3 different levels. Um, I will be having an intermediate level coming up here in the springtime. And So you can find out about that by going to my website. And I love doing just personal astrology readings and doing consults and helping people just connect with what's going on with their lives and just how to best navigate. And and I offer a variety type of readings, and you can go to my website as well to see what type of readings I provide. And as an, as a acupuncturist, I'm at Heart Spring Health Clinic in Selwood in Portland, um, just in the Selwood neighborhood. We're both there, and heartspringhealth.com is a way to find us there too. Um, and I just want to say thank you for, tuning in and taking a moment and just really creating some space to connect in around the full moon in Cancer. And thank you, Kathryn.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. The meditation and the song, beautiful, beautiful song.
Oh,
I love that you wrote that.
yeah. Yeah, it was so fun. It's so fun to share. Um, I've been a naturopath for a long time, and I kind of keep these sides, the astrological and the songstress, to, my personal life kind of, and now I'm letting it all out.
Yes,
I'm
let it out.
letting it out. So
Welcome
hello, world.
2025.
2025. I'm just letting it out. So also another thing that people might not know is that I'm a psychedelic practitioner. I work with plant medicines legally. Psilocybin is legal in the state of Oregon, and I do one-on-one sessions. I also work with groups. I specialize in women's health, so I love working with people who have dealt with issues around your womb or around your pelvic floor, birth trauma, all the sorts of stuff that goes with the ancestral stuff that we carry in our womb. So I do that naturopathically. I also teach pelvic floor classes and guide medicine journeys. So look me up. My website's drkathrynkloos.com, and I'll link you and me in the Instagram post thing.
Mhm.
And so you'll be able to find us.
Yeah.
Yay, thank you. Happy full moon. Thank you, Laura.
Yes, thank you, Kathryn. Happy full moon.
Happy full moon.